Have you ever woken in the dead of night to whispers that seem to come from nowhere? A chill that creeps up your spine, making you feel like you're not alone. In some cultures, these aren't just tricks of the mind or sleepless nights, they're signs of ancient entities sharing our world but lurking in shadowed realms. Tonight, we're diving into one such terror from Turkish folklore, Umi Sabian, the mother of children, a being that's haunted mothers and infants for centuries. This isn't just a ghost story, it's a window into deep-seated fears that still echo in modern life. Let's start with a story passed down through generations, rooted in the rural heartlands of Anatolia. It's 1968, in a remote village nestled in the snow-capped mountains of eastern Turkey. Winter has gripped the land like an icy fist, blanketing everything in white silence. Elif, a young mother in her mid-20s, has just given birth to her daughter, Zeynep, 4 months ago. The village is small, mud brick houses huddled together against the cold, where everyone knows everyone's secrets. Elif's home is simple, a single room with a wood-burning stove, woven rugs on the floor, and a cradle handmade from olive wood. That fateful night, Elif tucks Zeynep into the cradle, singing a soft lullaby her own mother taught her. The moon filters through cracked wooden shutters, casting long shadows that dance like fingers across the walls. Outside, the wind howls like a distant wolf, and the village dogs bark sporadically, as if sensing something amiss. Zeynep is fussy, her tiny cries piercing the quiet. Elif tries everything, rocking the cradle, feeding her, wrapping her tighter in blankets, but nothing calms the baby. Exhausted from days of little sleep, Elif feels a growing unease, like eyes watching from the corners. Then, it begins. A sharp, metallic scent fills the air, like old blood mixed with earth. Elif freezes. From under the cradle comes a faint rustling, then a whisper, a woman's voice, murmuring words in an ancient tongue, twisted and mocking. Elif's heart pounds as she peers down. In the shadows beneath, a dark form shifts, elongated and unnatural, like a hand reaching out. The whispers turn into a haunting melody, and suddenly, Zeynep stops crying. Her eyes, wide and unblinking, stare at the ceiling, reflecting a terror no infant should know. Elif recalls the elders' warnings, tales of Umi Sabian, the entity that preys on the vulnerable. Panicking, she grabs a nazar bead, evil eye amulet, from the wall and clutches it, reciting protective prayers passed down from her grandmother. The shadow retreats, but the fear lingers. By morning, Zeynep falls ill, feverish and weak. The village healer arrives, confirming what Elif dreads, Umi Sabian has visited. This isn't fiction, stories like Elif's have been shared in Turkish villages for generations, blending real events with folklore to explain the unexplainable. Umi Sabian, derived from Arabic roots meaning mother of children, sounds deceptively nurturing. But in Turkish folklore, she's anything but. Often depicted as a female demon or jinn-like spirit, she inhabits a parallel dimension, slipping into our world to target expectant mothers and newborns. Her origins trace back to pre-Islamic Turkish shamanistic beliefs, where spirits like Al-Karasai, the Red Woman, ornament women in childbirth. With the arrival of Islam, these merged into Umi Sabian, influenced by tales of malevolent jinn in the Quran and Middle Eastern lore. She's said to have immense power, shape-shifting into animals like cats or birds, or appearing as a shadowy figure with long, claw-like fingers. Her methods are insidious. She drinks the blood of infants, steals their souls, or drives mothers mad with hallucinations and nightmares. Why the focus on the young? Folklore suggests it's jealousy. As a barren entity, she envies human fertility. She strikes during vulnerable moments, pregnancy, birth, or the postpartum period, entering through open doors, windows, or even dreams. Victims report smells of decay, cold drafts, or eerie songs that lure babies into silence. Protection rituals are key in these beliefs. Families use muskets, amulets with Quranic verses, hang blue nazar beads to ward off evil, or place iron objects like knives under pillows. Iron repels spirits in many cultures. Prayers, incense, and even lead-pouring ceremonies, where molten lead is poured into water over the victim's head to divine and dispel evil, are common. But is Umi Sabian real, or a cultural metaphor? Modern science offers explanations. What folklore attributes to her might be postpartum depression, where new mothers experience intense anxiety, hallucinations, or paranoia. Sudden infant death syndrome or unexplained fevers could be blamed on her visits. Night terrors and sleep paralysis, where people feel pinned down by an invisible force, mirror descriptions of her attacks. Yet, in Turkish society, these beliefs persist as a way to cope with the unknown. They humanize uncontrollable tragedies, giving people rituals to regain control. It's similar to how Western cultures use boogeymen or vampires to explain fears of the dark or death. In Anatolia's villages, when a baby falls sick or a mother has vivid nightmares, Umi Subian is still whispered as the culprit, blending faith, psychology, and tradition. Umi Subian isn't confined to dusty folktales. Her influence lingers in today's world, adapting to new mediums while reflecting enduring cultural fears. In modern Turkey, especially in rural areas, the tradition of not leaving postpartum women and their babies alone for 40 days remains strong. This 40-day rule stems directly from beliefs in entities like Umi Subian or El Karisai. Families ensure constant companionship, relatives rotate shifts, sharing meals and stories, to prevent the spirit from striking. The mother rests, nourished with special foods like sherbet or helva, while the home is fortified with protective items, mirrors to confuse the entity, garlic to repel it, or Quranic recitations played softly. Even in urban settings, many Turkish families uphold this, blending it with medical advice on postpartum recovery. It's a safeguard against both supernatural threats and real risks like isolation-induced depression. In pop culture, Umi Subian inspires Turkish horror cinema, which has gained international fans. Films like the Sixen series portray her as a vengeful force tormenting families, using practical effects like shadowy figures and eerie sound design to evoke dread. The Dab franchise draws on Jinn lore, including Umi Subian elements, to create found-footage horrors that feel disturbingly real. These movies not only entertain but educate global audiences on Turkish mysticism, much like how The Ring popularized Japanese ghosts. Beyond film, she's echoed in Western concepts like the sleep paralysis demon. Many who experience sleep paralysis, waking frozen with a sense of an evil presence, compare it to Umi Subian attacks. Online forums and social media amplify this. On platforms like YouTube, Turkish users share Karabasan nightmare stories, linking them to the legend. Psychologists view her as a manifestation of collective anxiety around motherhood, societal pressures on women to protect their children perfectly, amplified in a fast-paced world. Globally, Umi Subian parallels figures like the Mexican La Llorona or the Slavic Baba Yaga, showing how cultures worldwide personify fears of child loss. In literature, modern Turkish authors weave her into novels exploring feminism and mental health, portraying her as a symbol of suppressed female rage. As streaming services like Netflix feature more international horror, Umi Subian could become a global icon, reminding us that ancient fears evolve but never truly fade. Umi Subian's tale reveals how folklore shapes our understanding of fear, family, and the unknown. Have you experienced something like the story I shared? Does your culture have a similar entity haunting the vulnerable? Share in the comments, because in the quiet of night, these shadows might still be watching.